American Insurance Group is a leading international insurance organisation with customers in more than 100 countries. It has 93,000 employees in over 90 countries and is at the heart of this scandal.
The CEO of AIG was Hank Greenberg. In March 2015, he was fired because he committed accounting fraud. He allegedly raised $3.9 billion by including loans as revenue in the accounts. AIG boosted its reserves when they were low and committed accounting fraud by bid rigging and inflating stock prices.
Now over to Mia with details about the lawsuit.
AIG was first under observation when a bogus reinsurance transaction came to the attention of the US Securities and Exchange Commission in 2001. They were charged a $10 million penalty in 2003. In 2005, when the full scope of the scandal had been uncovered and AIG admitted to improper accounting practices, they were made to pay a $1.64 billion penalty. Greenberg was fired but not charged. Ferguson, Garand, Monrad, Graham and Milton were all given prison sentences between 2 to 4 years and fines of up to $200,000.
When Hank Greenberg stepped down in 2005, many people asked how a company like AIG could have sustained such a level of financial misrepresentation for so long and go unnoticed. Firstly, we feel the culture within the organisation was highly autocratic, with Greenberg said to be ruling with an iron hand. Because of this leadership, the board featured 9 AIG executives, causing a conflict of interest, and as described by the agency theory. It has also since been discovered that board members were also running private companies closely linked to AIG, such as Star International and Seco, which was also AIG's largest shareholder. Investigations by Uzun, Shuchek and Varma suggested a strong correlation between board composition and the incidences of corporate fraud. It was the board's culture which allowed the company to receive huge loans and then cover them as revenue.
Further investigation shows the ability for former senior management to circumvent internal controls for their own agenda. AIG were also able to claim on non-existent transactions, a clear failing of company control systems. Correcting false documentation, net worth is $2.7 billion lower. Where were the auditors on all this? Well, they were found negligent in their part of the scandal. And digging underneath the surface, it was found that PwC received significant non-audit fees, which represents a clear case of objectivity and independence issues. I will now pass on to my correspondent Ravi to talk about possible solutions to stop something like this happening in the future.
So, there are several remedies we can look at designing the governance and control systems to prevent this failure from happening again, the most important of which is the management philosophy and operating style. Firstly, Greenberg's drive and domination led to an idiosyncratic management system. One way to counteract this and ensure that no individual holds too much power or responsibility is to implement rotation and segregation of duties. This can prevent a hierarchical structure and ensure that no individual is left unchallenged. Furthermore, there was a real lack of management oversight and supervision of Greenberg, a major factor leading to the scandal. Companies can use supervision to compensate for insufficient segregation and therefore monitor a CEO's behaviour to ensure there is no wrongdoing going on. And finally, we have the Corporate Governance Code, which recommends the inclusion of non-executive directors on the board. Now, this is to maintain the board's independence and ensure that it remains true and fair. However, AIG's board were not deemed to be independent, as they were reportedly very close to Greenberg.
Thank you for listening.
Good night.